What's up, everybody? Here for another IG Live interview. Bear with me while I send the invite. All right, and now we wait. Hello, hello.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Not bad. All right. So I want to be cognizant of your time. I'm sure you're very busy, so let's jump right in.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's introduce yourself, your business, and then we'll kind of get into like the questions for everything.
Okay. Hey everybody, my name is Relle. They call me Relle. I am the owner of Body Achieve Fitness in downtown New Brunswick. It is a personal training studio for one-on-one personal training, small group training, nutrition consultations, and I've been in the industry for about 8 years, been working out fitness wise for 10 years. And my slogan is the body achieves what the mind believes.
Nice, that's awesome. So you obviously, like you just mentioned, how long you've been doing fitness, like what kind of got you into it in the first place? And then also like what's your favorite way to work out?
Okay, so this probably started about 10 years ago. I moved to Connecticut. I went to school at the University of Hartford in Hartford, Connecticut. And I'm the youngest out of my siblings, and I really, really, really missed home. And instead of picking up like drugs and alcohol, I went to the gym. I would talk to my mom and my sisters on three-way for like 3 hours, and I would just be in the gym working out or taking walks. And I wasn't this fit chick. I wasn't into fitness at all. It was just a way to kind of decompress and bond with my siblings and my mom while I was away in college. So it was like Thanksgiving that I came home and I lost like 30 pounds. And everybody was like, "What the heck? What are you doing?" I'm like, I'm just walking. Like, I'm not doing anything in particular." So I started posting on Instagram and on Facebook. This is when Facebook was like only, it was really only Facebook that was like popular. And I
Yeah.
started posting on Facebook like my progress or whatever. And people from out here in Somerset and Franklin was like, "When you come home, I want you to train me. Or I want you to work out with me." And I'm like, I don't do this for anything else other than just for me. But some of my friends, I would come out here for Christmas break, spring break, summer vacations, and we would go to the gym or we would work out outside. And they were like, "Yo, you really are a trainer. Like, you're training me. You're helping me fall in love with fitness." And I'm like, what are people talking about? What are they saying right now? And one of my friends was like, "You really should, become a trainer." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." I went back home. I went back to school, and this was when Insanity had just came out.
Mhm.
Insanity was like the dopest thing ever, and this is when we had LimeWire, and I downloaded Insanity off of LimeWire for free. And me and my friends at college would just do Insanity all the time. And then it became a thing where people were looking at us while we were working out and they started joining us. And it got to a point where I started a class at school, like an Insanity class. I would like memorize all the workouts, and then I would teach like 6, 7, 8 people, and then it became 15, 20 people. Then it became like this whole thing where people would go to like the football field at school, and I would be teaching Insanity. And then I became this fit chick. I had no certification. I just really loved fitness, and everybody enjoyed fitness too. So I graduated from the University of Hartford. I moved back to Jersey, and I was still just working little in and out jobs. Once you graduate college, you're kind of like in this in between phase. And I worked out. I was working out at the gym. A lot of my friends were still training with me, just working out. We were working out together. I wasn't training them. And then a manager at the gym was like, "Are you a personal trainer?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "I'm getting ready to open up another gym, and I want you to be my trainer." I was like, "Me?" Like, I'm if you know me face to face, I'm this 5 foot, girl, what are you talking about? You want me to be this trainer? So he was like, I will pay for your certification. I can literally see fitness radiate through you. And um, people are like, my messages are going crazy. So the manager was like, I could see fitness radiate through you, and I want you to get certified. This seems like this is something that you're passionate about. So he paid for my certification. He took a chance on me, and really the rest is history in reference to how I got my fitness career started. He just took a chance on me. And I thank him to this day. If Preston is watching, Preston, love you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
That's so awesome. And I love how, like, I feel like a lot of people, when they get into the fitness industry, sometimes they feel like that they should be a coach because, like, they like to work out, but they're not necessarily, like, people persons. You know what I mean? Which is kind of funny because, like, I'm pretty introverted myself, but, like, I'm doing these interviews, I'm a trainer, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of cool to see, like, how you took your passion for something and then made it into a career instead of just being like, oh, well, I know everything. I'm the best trainer ever. You should work with me, blah, blah, blah. So
Right.
that's super dope. So what helped you choose to become a trainer in the first place? And was this always a field that you felt you would end up in? So something I was going to ask you is like, what did you actually, what were you going to school for?
So I initially went to school for biology, and then I dissected a frog, and I realized that that really wasn't me. Not, I'm sorry, not a frog, a pig. I dissected a pig, and I was like, yeah, this is not for me. Blood, guts, that's not for me. So I was like, all right, let's go back to the drawing board. And I changed my major to business. So I really went to school for business. A minor in like management, HR management, and that was it. I had nothing fitness related, no physical therapy, no sports medicine, nothing like that.
Nice. And that's also cool because I have like a similar background. Like, so I actually went to school for music education. Um,
Wow.
but I've been lifting since I was like 16 because like I was always overweight growing up. And
Same.
so when I got to high school, I'm like, all right, like I'm tired of people making fun of me, blah, blah, blah. My boy was like, hey, do you want to work out like with the Franklin soccer team? So that's when I actually started like lifting and everything. And now at this point, I've been lifting for like a decade. I've been training for about half that because it's the same thing. Like people would like come to work out with me and like, oh, dude, like I'll pay you to train me, and I'm like, nah, bro, like you're my friend. Like I'll just work out with you for free, and that's kind of
Yeah.
how everything started going. So it's cool to see like your similar background.
Yeah. And sometimes I feel like, just to spin off of what you're talking about, sometimes I feel like people that have, and this is just a broad generalization. Like sometimes PT backgrounds or sports medicine backgrounds, they are so educated in that field that they lack like that that get to know you type of trainer, like that friend trainer.
Yeah,
It's more of a coach. I'm educated. I know this, and this is what you need to do by the books. You know what I mean? So to kind of have that background where you just were working out here and there, you just found this passion for fitness. Sometimes it attracts more people to you.
yeah, definitely. And that was something that I kind of realized, like low key, it's been something that I'm kind of insecure about because it's like when you're going into this field, you realize there's people that went to college for this, or they have like their CSCS, and it's like, all right, there's so many people that are really well versed in this material, but then it comes also down to the practicality. You know what I mean? So you said that you lost 30 pounds, right? That's not a small feat. The
Right.
fact that you've been through it yourself, the fact that you know the struggles of how it is to like be busy, have your own schedule and everything, but still make it work. Like people gravitate towards that.
Right.
So
Right.
that's huge for
Right.
sure. All right. So speaking of that, let me see. What made you decide to pursue opening your own personal training business, and how long have you been training people? So you said you've been training for like eight
About eight
years.
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
8 years. It's actually going on 9. Um, so I started off at a small gym, and I was just doing like group fitness classes, just being a group fitness trainer. And then people at that gym wanted me to do personal training. And so I was, I could take on personal training because I had a personal training certification. But then I'm starting to realize I have people over 65 coming to me. I have pregnant women coming to me. I have kids. I have parents that they want their kids to get in a certain sport and they want to train with me. So I'm realizing, okay, I need more certifications. I need to um, just get more knowledgeable and rather than just that generalized certification. So I started doing my own, I started purchasing my own classes and certifications for elderly fitness and sports agility training and things like that, pre and postnatal training. And I was like, I could be more marketable to myself, even in this gym, if I get these certifications. So I got these certifications, and my little one's about to come. Um, Ava, say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. So I got these certifications, and then I got an opportunity to work for Lifetime Fitness in Berkeley Heights. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I got an opportunity to work at Lifetime Fitness in Berkeley Heights, and I felt a little stagnant at the gym that I had originally started off at. And so I made that transition. The person that really mentored me who really pushed me to go into fitness, he totally understood. And I went to Berkeley Heights. Now, if you know, Lifetime Fitness is like the best of the best. You have the most elite trainers at Lifetime Fitness. And that's where I really got a chance to really apply all of my certifications at Lifetime Fitness. Lifetime Fitness, their training, their trainers and their training is every 2 to 3 days. We're all sitting down in a meeting and we're going over different exercises, body compositions, how to effectively train somebody. So I was able to really get a hands-on. I'm not just self-teaching myself now. Like now I have trainers who are master trainers, 15, 16 years in the game, teaching me and coaching me. So I learned so much at Lifetime Fitness in Berkeley Heights as a trainer. It grew me like from here to here, you know? And after that, I got an opportunity to work for New York Sports Club. And that I am forever grateful for because I went in as a fitness manager. So I have a background in business, a background in management, but I also know how to hold on. I also know how to train. So I have business, fitness, and management underneath my skills. I can literally sell salt to a slug. So the manager, the regional manager there, he heard about me from, I guess, another trainer at Berkeley Heights or whatever, and he wanted me to kind of revamp New York Sports Club in Mattawan. So I went there and I got an opportunity to be able to train other trainers, to really coach other trainers, not just on selling techniques, but also apply everything that I learned from Lifetime Fitness in Berkeley Heights and apply that to New York Sports Club and Mattawan, to all of the trainers there. Did so well that I ended up getting a promotion to be a regional manager or like a fitness manager for one of the largest New York sports clubs in New Jersey, in Livingston. And I had like 20 trainers underneath me. And that really took me to a different level because I had trainers that were master trainers that were looking to me for answers in reference to fitness or suggestions on how to train. Even right now, the gym is no longer open, but if you follow on social media, the district training, it's a small gym up in North Jersey. That trainer came from my teaching. So I have another trainer who also was there. He does traveling training. He has like a sprinter. He gutted it out, and he has like dumbbells and barbells and plates and everything. So now he travels, you know what I mean? So like I really was able to coach and teach those trainers on being marketable, getting more certifications, selling techniques and everything. So after that, I realized like I feel unstoppable. I feel unbeatable. Like if I can coach these people, then and they really rely on me and they believe in me to be able to lead them in fitness and in, you know, generating income, then I could do this by myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know I'm rambling. Am I rambling?
No, I love it. I
Okay.
honestly like I really love your story because it's very relatable and like we don't really know each other, but my respect for you is like way up here, right?
Oh
Because I
my
feel like I can relate
gosh.
to you so much when it comes to your story. Um, I really appreciate you not necessarily having that training background because, like I
Right.
said, like I went to school for music, and something that I always struggled with, like the school that I went to, it was very like whitewashed, if you will, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's to the point where it's like, all right, I'm a biracial baby, and so they would kind of look to me as like the quote unquote like token like Puerto Rican person. And then I was also the only instrument in my class, like freshman year all the way through whatever, like senior year, I was the only instrument. So for me, I was never really sure if I was there because I deserved it or if it was kind of just like, all right, like we need to fill these numbers, fill this quota,
Right.
blah, 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 right? So for me, I am more proud of me getting my A certification than I am of my bachelor's in music.
Right. Yes.
So when I see you coming through here, you did all this stuff yourself. You made it happen. You're a go-getter. Like again, my respect for you way up here. So that's why
Thank
like I hit you
you.
up about this interview because I was like, all right, like I need to know like what makes her tick. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can again, like I got time. I got until like 4. So if
Okay.
you're
All
good, like
right,
I'm good.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it just opportunity after opportunity kind of not necessarily came my way, but I just aligned myself with all the right people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I never was like, "Oh, hey, it's me, Sherelle." Like, hi, hi. I was never
Yeah.
like that. It just I was I put my all into fitness. I put my all into fitness. Like
Yeah.
I still had jobs here and there, but I really put my all into fitness and honestly just fitness radiated through me. Just the love for fitness radiated through me. I did like bikini competitions before. I've been my lowest was like 115, right? And then I gained weight, I lost weight, I gained weight, I lost weight. I did different styles of training. Like I kind of just
Yeah.
I just transformed myself with really no help from anybody else at all. Just kind of okay, I'm learning this technique in my NASM book, so let me try it on me. Oh wow, this worked.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I can apply it to somebody else that's looking for this. Like the book actually knows what it's talking about. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um, while I was working at New York Sports Club, I was working there for maybe 3 years. I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, and I realized like this is going to be the only time for the rest of my life that I will ever be by myself, that I will ever be responsible for somebody, just that I will ever be responsible just for myself.
Right.
So I was like 6 months pregnant. I was like, yeah, I love my trainers. I loved my group of trainers. I loved New York Sports Club. I loved everything about it, but it was time for me to go. It was time for me to spend the last couple of months by myself because if you think about it, you're even if you have grandparents, your parents still reach out to your grandparents, right? So like you never stop being a parent, no matter how old your child is. And so I was like, this is the last time that I'm ever going to be by myself. Let me kind of just let me leave that job, say goodbye to all of my trainers. And I remember one of the last things that I said to my trainers is, you don't have to stay here. Like there's so much more to you than you just working here, right? Like I want I always had an entrepreneur mindset. So I wanted my trainers like, yo, we don't want to see you go. We don't want you to leave. Like the gym is going to be different once you leave. And I told them, I said, you don't have to be here for the rest of your life. You know, you gained a lot of knowledge from me. I gained a lot of knowledge from you. And whatever you decide to do, like do it with your whole heart. If you want to change lives through fitness, do that with your whole heart. And now looking at my trainers, I still follow some of the trainers that I coached. They have their own businesses, they have their own gyms, like they're doing stuff on online programs, like they're killing it. They're
Yeah.
still into fitness. It was never just that, oh, I'm just here to make a quick dollar. Like they love fitness, which also in turn just made my job as their manager, as their lead trainer to it just made me even more fulfilled. Like I know exactly what I'm here to do, right? I'm here to lead. I'm here to train people. I'm here to coach people.
That's
So
awesome.
um, I spent the last 4 months of my pregnancy home by myself, just home by myself, just enjoying that time, like the quietness, right?
Hmm.
And I would walk and clear my mind. I was doing a Stairmaster till I was like 6 months pregnant, or no, like 7 months pregnant. And the doctor was like, okay, like you really need to chill out. And I'm like, all right, fine. I guess I won't do it. So I just continued to walk, walk, walk. I gained 50 pounds when I was pregnant. And when I had my daughter, I lost 52 pounds. So I was like 2 pounds lower than my starting weight. So during that time that I was by myself, I was like, fitness is still gonna be within me. Fitness is still within me. I still feel the most fulfilled when I train people and when I change people's lives through fitness, and I show them how to enjoy fitness. Fitness is not like, oh my god, I gotta work out. Like, I want people to come to me or even just see me on social media and be like, yo, let me get myself up. Like, I like to work out. I don't necessarily want to move, but you know what? I like the way it makes me feel after. So I created this program and I wanted to gear it to moms. I've throughout my entire fitness career, I always heard moms like, you don't know how it feels. You're not a mom. You don't know how it feels to have children, do this, do that, and then you want me to work out? Like, how am I supposed to do that? So I created this online program called the Snapback. While I was home, I was like, I'm gonna do this workout plan for me. I'm going to spend about 3 or 4 months after I have my daughter doing this program and see if it works on me. I will never give somebody something that I know for a fact doesn't work. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this workout that I created. I literally sketched it out, etched it out for workout, reps, everything. And I did it on myself, lost even more weight, shredded up, this and that. And I launched this online program called the Snapback, where it was a combination of personal training, workout plans that you do on your own, accountability check-ins, nutrition, everything. And I tapped into a new market, moms.
Yep.
How do you accommodate having your children, working out, being home, having a 9 to 5, whatever. And like that just took Body Achieved, boom, like boom, 4 years. I've always had Body Achieve, like in the back of my head. I had the LLC for about 8 years. Like, it's always been there, but I've always like, I like this gym. I like to work here. I like to work here. So I kind of was like, I'll do Body Achieve another time.
Hmm.
So I knew I wanted to be home with my daughter. I knew I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And I, I, for 2.5 years, I was a stay-at-home mom, just off Body Achieve. Just off of Body Achieved. I was a stay-at-home mom for 2.5 years.
That's
By
all.
myself. So now I have so many clients that like their kids are like my nieces and nephews because they came to the workouts. I had my daughter strapped in a baby carrier in the gym. She was 3 months old and I'm training clients. I'm holding somebody else's kid. My kid is right here and they're working out. So Body Achieve right now is not just about moms, it's about everybody, but I have a soft spot, a soft place in my heart for mothers that want to incorporate a healthy lifestyle that necessarily, don't have, they think they don't have the time.
Yeah, and
So
I,
that's just,
I honestly like, I love that that's what you love because it's so overlooked in the fitness industry, right? And it's like, it's something that I've kind of seen in the past is you'll have trainers that kind of just don't get it. You know what I mean? So it's like you'll have a mom that's very self-conscious. She's coming in, she wants to get back in shape, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes the solution is, oh, well, you don't want it bad enough. It's like, what do you mean? Like, she works full time. She has a kid that she has to take care of. You can't just tell her she doesn't have, or that she doesn't want bad enough. Like, you have to help cater towards her lifestyle, her needs, blah, blah, blah. And show her that she's still worthy of all this stuff and that she deserves
right,
time to herself too. So I love everything about what you just said for sure. Also, like backtracking a little bit, like what you're talking about, like all the different opportunities, that was also really cool. Something that happened for me, I got really lucky. My fiance's uncle owns his own studio over in Hopewell. Um, yeah, exactly. So I got the hookup. So I was working with him for a little while, and it kind of helped me find my niche for things because, like, usually Hopewell, the what's it called? The clientele base there is generally like 50s and above, and it's all like upper middle class white. So you have people that have a lot of like expendable income. But like
right,
for me personally, I love strength and conditioning. I love helping people hit weights that they never thought that they could hit before. Like girls come in, I'll be like, "Hey, I'm gonna have you deadlift in the triple digits." Ah, no, you're bugging. What are you talking about? The
Yeah,
next day, deadlifting over 100 pounds.
yeah,
So like
yeah.
I love that like you have like the niche that you enjoy, but also like you're still trying to cater to everybody else as well because that's huge.
Right,
And that's also again like why I wanted to do this interview is just because we may have different styles or different personalities when it comes to fitness. It doesn't mean that the other is better than the other. Uh,
right, exactly.
yeah, so that's awesome. I really love everything that you were talking about. Um, so you kind of answered like most of my next question, which is basically like how to use your experience and knowledge to help your clients. So you talked about how like going through your pregnancy to help you design the plan. Um, and what sets you apart and allows people to relate to you more than other trainers. So for me personally, um, I always struggled with my weight, like growing up, and it got to the point where I was like 236 pounds, and I ended up,
Mhm,
I think it was two
mhm.
years ago at this point, losing 51, 52 pounds. So like
Wow.
yeah, so I kind of know like the struggle of what it's like to be really overweight and struggle whether it be with just eating disorders or binge eating, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But for me, it was more like depression based. So what do you
Okay.
think kind of sets you apart from everybody else, and why do people gravitate towards you?
In reference to being a trainer, I would say because I've been through almost every single hiccup there is. I went from being overweight, unhappy, hating the way I looked, to, that was kind of self-motivation. It's very hard to be self-motivated. But when
Yeah,
you look in the mirror and you're just like, ugh, like you got to do something. Like this
yeah,
is out of hand, right?
yeah.
From just starting off walking, not knowing what the heck to do, to then losing, a lot of weight, 30, 40 pounds. Um, and literally, I started off by looking at things on Pinterest, like workouts on Pinterest that I would do. I don't know if I was doing them right, but I never had an injury. I don't know if I was doing them right, but I've been that chubby girl that was unhappy and didn't know where to start, to being a super, 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 super thin person, meal prepping, weighing, scaling all of my meals, and being in the most unhappiest, um, being being the most unhappiest at that part of my life when I was the lowest. I'm thinking that I was a slave to the number on the scale.
Mm,
I also was competing, and a lot of people, if you know it, competing is insane. It's
yeah,
crazy. It's scaling everything. It's cardio 2 hours a day, then an hour of weightlifting or an hour and a half of weightlifting. Everything is about your weight. Everything is about your looks. So I thought, okay, I'm a slave to the scale. The number is saying 115. Then it's going down. It's going down. I got rock hard abs. My back is But I was so unhappy,
yeah,
right? So then I went from kind of being in a happy medium, but still unhappy, right? Because you're used to being a slave to the scale, but then now you're trying to train your mind not to look at the scale.
mhm,
And then you're binge eating because you went in such a deficit. So now you're putting on weight and you're supposed to be not looking at the scale, but then you're looking at the scale and now you're gaining 15 pounds and now you're like, oh my God. So for a little bit after I competed, I kind of hated fitness. I didn't want to look at a treadmill. I didn't want to look at the gym. I didn't want to weigh or scale my meals or anything like that. And so then I kind of gained some weight, and now I'm skinny, going from skinny, rock hard abs, back muscles looking good, to now kind of gaining weight again and having this anxiety, like, oh my God, I'm gonna be that fat girl again. Like,
mm,
no, you're not gonna be that fat girl again. You know exactly what you're doing now.
yeah,
So I went from, fit abs to then not having abs, then to being pregnant and working out, and then being a new mom, and then not enjoying how you look as you're at your new mom weight and your new mom body, and things don't look the same way, and you know what I mean. So I've literally been in every single phase. So when my clients come to me, no matter if they're skinny, trying to, put on weight, or if they're overweight, unhappy at the way they look, I've been through every single phase. I've been through every single phase. And I think that's what makes me the most relatable. And a lot of people, I know how they feel. So I guess that's the most, the most, what's the word? Most relatable that I am to clients.
Gotcha. Yeah, and honestly, like that's kind of what helped my business grow in the first place. Like a lot of people, like I started getting clientele after I lost the 50 pounds, right? Because people see the after and they're like, oh, I want that too. I want to look jacked. I want to look shredded, blah, blah, blah. Little do they know I had been lifting for like 8 years at that point, right? It's just that I didn't know anything about nutrition and I really struggled with depression. And it got to the point where it was just like taking a toll on me because I hated my job, hated my situation, blah, blah, blah. And the thing that I noticed is most of the time when people hit me up, it wasn't necessarily, it's like, hey, I just want to have that beach body. It was normally, hey, I'm really struggling with my mental health. And that's what's starting to affect my physical health. Um,
Yeah.
so when people come in and I start them off with strength training, I try to get them hooked on the process instead of just the afters. Because I tell them it's like, hey, this isn't going to happen overnight. You know what I mean? You're not going to have that body. Like I've been doing this for a decade. I've been doing powerlifting and bodybuilding for a decade. Like I've built this physique over time. It's not just going to happen next week. Yeah, you got newbie gains, so you'll get faster results. But it's like I want you to fall in love with the process and learn why I like doing what I do, but also to enjoy it for yourself and use this as whether it be like a coping mechanism or something
Right.
like that to help you become the healthiest and strongest version of yourself.
Right. Like I have clients that sometimes it's more of a therapy session than it is
Yeah,
a workout session. Like fitness is not just a physical thing, right? It is almost 60 or 70% mental.
yeah,
When you're doing things that you didn't think that you could do from fitness, right? Like lifting weights, hitting a new PR, that subconsciously is like, yo, I did this. Why can't
yeah,
I do this from
yep,
another aspect of your life, right? Or I was so consistent with this, I need to be more consistent with this part of my life. If I could do this by myself or with the help of a trainer, then I could do this by myself, you know? So a lot of people come to me, yes, because they have fitness goals, but over time they realize like I need fitness to make me feel better mentally, right? Because this social media thing is so toxic,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
it is so toxic. I have a lot of my clients look great, and I'm like, you guys have body freaking dysmorphia. Like
yeah,
you want to be this person that you see on social media, which has probably been photoshopped,
yeah,
probably had some type of surgery. Like you don't understand. Enjoy where you're at right now,
yeah,
because and that's what I learned too. Like, enjoy where you're at and whatever journey you are in, whatever part of your journey that you're in, right? Enjoy that part right now because things may take a turn. You may get pregnant, right? Or you may get married and you guys are in that like lovey dovey phase. So now you guys are eating out, you guys are doing all of this, and you're gonna look back on pictures and be like, damn, I did not enjoy this body right now, right?
mhm,
Things could change. But like I always tell people, and enjoy where you're at in your life right now and just enjoy the journey. And that's for fitness, that's for your whatever personal things that's happening in your life. Like that's what I tell my clients, a lot of my clients.
yeah. And I think the other thing that you kind of touched on that people don't really understand is that all those like Gymshark models and everybody, like I'm sure you know because you did competing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In order to maintain that physique, you have to suffer every single day. Hours of cardio, hours of lifting weights, weighing all your food. And of course, like they have this facade and everything where they have all these like cheat meal, oh, 10,000 calorie challenge. It's like, okay, first off, they're not actually eating that food. And then secondly, if they are eating it, they're generally not going to keep it down.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, hang on, sorry. Look at the next one. But yeah, so
My dog is going crazy.
it's all good. My dog's the same way. Whenever my parents get home, she's probably gonna do the same thing.
Like, what are you barking at? It's probably something on
Yeah,
the TV.
exactly. But yeah, so what things have changed for you in your fitness journey over the years, right? So something that I had learned when I like first started becoming a trainer was like diastasis recti, like when it comes to pregnancies and how you have to really be careful with certain women when they're training, because if you do certain bracing and everything, it kind of messes up their abdominals. So can you kind of talk about, and it doesn't just have to be like pre and post like pregnancy, but like how has your journey changed over the years?
I actually, can you see me?
Yeah.
I really, really, really love uh, injury rehab or um, like I've had a lot of older clients that have suffered from strokes, right? So they're they need more mobility, more flexibility. I think that before I was like cardio fanatic. Everybody wants to do hit, 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 right? Everybody wants to be like jump squats and this and this and this. But like my heart right now is with injury rehab and people that have suffered from, major situations, heart attacks, things like that. So I like the slow transition from, I do have a lot of older clients. I do have some clients that have had injuries or surgeries or things like that that I rehab a lot. I do a lot of stretching with. So right now, that kind of is my where my love at for fitness is seeing somebody go from their left side being completely numb and they can't feel anything to me working on them or and then giving them things and exercises for them to do at home where so the 2 days or the 3 days that you're with me, I want you to do a workout on the days that you're not with me that helps you fitness wise, but that also holds you accountable. You know what I mean? I tell my clients all the time, I don't want you to need me for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
If if I'm with you for the rest of your life, awesome. Right? Like at some point it doesn't become, oh, I need to get, it's because I need an accountability partner. Or I just want my friend to train me. So a lot of my clients go from clients to friends to family because they're with me for all of their pregnancies. They're with me to train them for their weddings. They're with me to get them ready for this or this or this, whatever. So, where was I going with this? Help me. I
Just
completely
talking
lost
about like
myself.
how things have changed for you in your fitness journey over the years.
Okay. So, yeah, I've had that's and when you're young in fitness, you're like, I don't want to train an old person. I don't
Yeah.
want to train somebody that, with injury. I want somebody to be able to do push-ups and jump squats and all types of stuff like that. But over the years, I've had a lot of clients that have been with me and suffered from injuries and suffered from things. So you want your clients to, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So I want my clients to be able to not need me for the rest of their life, but um I like seeing going back to what I was saying, I like seeing clients that don't have necessarily mobility in certain parts of their body gain
Hmm.
mobility and strength in their body just by doing basic exercises, right? Like a lot of the times doctors will tell you not to squat, right? You have a knee injury, you have a back injury, don't squat.
Yeah,
Well,
immediately.
how do you sit down in a chair every day? How do you sit
Right.
on the toilet every day? You squat. So I like the slow progress. And then next thing you know, the person is like running to you. The person is doing exercises that they didn't think or they thought that they were never going to be able to do ever again. You
Yeah.
know? So right now that's where I'm at in my training style. But you're talking about personal? Are you talking about personal or clientele?
Well, honestly, a little bit of everything, and I really like that you bring up kind of like injury rehab. So for me personally, I kind of had like I don't necessarily want to say like the opposite timeline for my training, but again, like working over at Hopewell, where the demographic is a lot older, I was working with people that had all kinds of injuries, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit because I'm like, I'm just trying not to break this person. You know what
Right.
I mean? But then it can also be super beneficial because I remember training this lady, probably like late 80s, arthritis all over her body. All she wanted to do was hold her grandchild. So I'm like, all right, like we're gonna do our best. We're gonna try to do some curls, blah blah blah. I got you. And then we started doing some sandbag holds.
Mhm.
Started at 15 seconds, 30 seconds, blah blah blah. She comes to me a couple weeks down. She's like, oh, I held my grandbaby for 5 minutes. I'm like, that's great. You know what I mean? Like that's also just as rewarding.
Yes.
But for me personally, I'm kind of now gotten to the point where it's like I love bodybuilding. I love powerlifting. That's my niche. That's what I want to do. I want to help you get bigger and stronger and faster, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's great that you're taking kind of like that TLC approach when it comes to training, because we definitely need a lot more people like you out there.
Right, right, yeah. But from a personal standpoint, yeah, after I had my daughter, that was probably the most difficult trying to get back into fitness.
Hmm.
Um, because I'm like my body feels different. I
Yeah.
don't I don't feel the same. I've had injuries before, so I did trying to hang with the guys. This is like 6 years ago. Trying to hang with the guys, squatting. I squatted too much, and I ended up herniating my L4 and L5.
Hmm.
Didn't know it. Just thought I had a really bad back injury or just like back pain, right? So as I'm training over the months, I'm like, oh my God, my back hurts. Oh my freaking gosh, my back hurts. So I started, from I have a when you if you see me, right, I'm 5 foot, but I walk like I'm like 6'2", right? Like I'm like right? So I started training like this, like I was hunched over.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
everybody's like, what's going on with you? I'm like, yo, I think I hurt my back a couple months ago, whatever. So even to this day, again, that goes back to rehab and injury rehab. Because I every now and then I have to be mindful to be careful of my body when I'm working out. And I
Yeah.
think after I had my daughter, it was like you going like no core muscles, no core strength at all, right? At all. No core strength, which ultimately related to a lot of back issues after I had my daughter. So I had to kind of rehab myself back to health. In addition to doing this program for new moms, the snapback. I did a lot of like flexibility exercises, a lot of water exercises, and again that expanded my level of training too because I had never did exercises in the water. But now I after I started after I had my daughter, two things that I did. I got certified in pre and postnatal, and then also water aerobics. So because I loved it so much, I'm like, I need to get certified in this. I want to be after I have my daughter, I want to be able to do everything. I want to be able to train in any field. I want to be able to help anybody. Even though I don't have access to, I mean, I don't really have access to bring my clients to a pool. I have it underneath my belt. So I'm again just me having to rehab my body after I had my daughter, after I had my injury, um, and even still being very mindful to how I move my body when I train because herniated disc and a bulging disc, it never goes away.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. That's crazy. That's like a lot to deal with. Like, I mean, like, so for me, like, I've had injuries here and there, but it's like, luckily, it's never been to the point where it's like, okay, like, you're gonna have to work around this for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's kind of it's wild, like, to think about like how things like that can happen. Some of like my clients, or you know what I mean, some of them have mobility issues, like you're talking about. So I kind of have to use like different specialty bars or stuff like that to kind of work around it. So it's really like crucial to have that knowledge for sure.
No, for sure.
All right, so next one I'm very curious about. What is your approach to balancing being a business owner, trainer, content creator, and being a mom slash having a home life?
I am always on my phone. I'm always on the go. It got to a point where I was doing so much. I'm like answering DMs. I'm content creating. I'm training clients. Like when you're training with me, you get that 60 minutes of me. I'm not one of those trainers who's going to be on the phone. It's going to be on the phone talking this and that. So I ended up having to get a go. I have a go-to person. She's not watching right now, but I will shout her out. Her name is Alima. Oh, she just got on. Alima. Yeah, so I definitely that's my go-to person. If you ever have a DM on Body Achieve page, it is Alima answering that because she was like, I had to have her tell me, you're doing too much.
Mm,
You're spreading yourself so thin, you're pouring out of an empty cup. right? You're so much for everybody. You're on the phone 24/7, right? I literally tell my clients, you have 24/7 access to me. If you're on a date and you don't know what to eat, screenshot your menu and I will be able to tell you like what to eat. You know what I mean? So I have my go-to person that answers all emails and does all the content creating for Body Achieve page, which I thank you. I appreciate you. I'm so glad that she just got on while I was talking about her. Um, and I was working in the midst of COVID. I was working in pharmaceuticals. I had a pharmaceutical job for 3 years, and still training. So I would wake up at like 4:30 every morning for 3 years. Do you hear what I'm saying? Every morning for 3 years.
That's insane.
Wake up every morning at 4:30, train a client 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. Then log on to work 8:30. Still have to take my kid to school, get her dressed and ready, this and that, when I was working from home. So that was the perk of it. And then would log off at 5, train 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9 for 3 years. This happened for 3 years. And I was like, something's got to change. Like, I don't feel fulfilled at my job. I don't. It makes great money. I did not feel fulfilled at all. Training was what I love to do. But you're thinking pharmaceuticals will never go out of style, right? It'll never go out of business. In the midst of COVID, I didn't miss a day. They were actually providing overtime. So I was like, I gotta save some money. I gotta open up my own gym. I can't do this. I gotta do something, right? So I just save money, save money, save money. And I was provided with an opportunity from one of my clients. One of my clients is an entrepreneur. She's a nail tech. And she was like, I opened up a salon suite in this building, and this building is opening up more suites and more, spaces for rent. See if they would rent to you for, a small fitness studio. DM them, they were like, yes, that is amazing. We don't even have anybody thinking of this idea, right? Like when you go into my studio, you're like, this is insane. The way you transformed it. You have a barbell in here, you have a squat rack, you have dumbbells, you have mirrors, like you have TRX bands, you have battle ropes, you have everything you need in such a not a small space, but such a, you're thinking, when you think of gym, when you think of fitness and fitness centers, you think of this big box retailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Body Achieved is something very intimate. It's something very personal. Body Achieved is for the people that don't feel comfortable in the gym.
Yep.
So it's those, like I have clients that would never even think of wearing a tank top in the gym, wearing tank tops and sports bras, or the guys taking off their shirts at Body Achieve. Like that hour that you're at Body Achieve, that is you. That's you. I'm just here to hold you accountable. I'm just here to hold you accountable and make sure your form is okay. And that's what I love, right? So
can we also take a second to appreciate how difficult it is to open up a studio in the midst of a pandemic?
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. But because Body Achieved is so small, not small in a scale of business, but more personal in terms of the size of it, it was a hit. Nobody wants to be around other people in the gym.
Yeah.
Everybody's thinking you sneeze, you cough, you have COVID.
Yeah.
So I can ensure that before each session, everything is disinfected and wiped down. And this hour, you can wear a mask. You don't have to wear a mask. It's up to you, right? Like you're working out. This is your space. Like a lot of people don't want to work out at home.
Yeah.
Because when you work out at home, I'm like, oh, this is dusty. The dish is in the dishwasher. I need to take this out and this and this and this. You kind of have your home personal feeling at outside of home. So I was like, I need to open up this gym. So I saved all this money by myself. I didn't really want to I've learned over the years that sometimes partnerships are not really the best idea. For a lot of people don't see your vision.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing this with nobody else. I'm doing it with me. I have a lot of clientele. They are all looking for me to expand my business from outside of where I was training at. And I opened this space up. I was provided with this opportunity. The building owner was like, that would be amazing. I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of having a fitness studio in this building, but yes, we want you here. And that's what happened. I put in all of my savings that I had, specifically aside for that, and I opened up this space. And I have the hopes to expand in that same building, and I want to be able to provide other trainers with opportunities. You know, you don't necessarily have to work in a gym. You don't have to get 40 and 50% taken out of your training, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so that's in the works. I know that's a question that you probably have for later on, but that is definitely in the works to be able to provide a space for trainers that are on fire like me, or even young trainers in the industry that don't necessarily want to work in a big box retail gym,
Yeah.
that want to get experience. Sometimes as a new trainer, it's embarrassing. You get intimidated when you have to train around other trainers,
Yep.
right? So that's how I manage everything. It's not easy, but I did. I ended up leaving my 9 to 5. I ended up leaving my 9 to 5 in February and have not regretted it ever since, because I realized like my 9 to 5 was taking a lot away from my clients, from my
Yeah.
business. I wasn't able to expand the business as much as I am now. Um, with that 9 to 5, I took a chance on myself, like I always do. I always tell people, bet on yourself. You can never go wrong with that. And here I am now.
That's so awesome. And I, again, like there's so many similarities to like for your kind of backstory is to mine. Like I love everything that you're saying. Like I feel like our personality is very similar. So that's super dope. So another huge question, because I struggle with this constantly. How have you managed to stay sane and not burn yourself out over the years? And what are some of your decompressors or you time? So you're talking about how hard you were working for 3 years. I worked every day for like a 3 month span and I was fried. So how? Like how?
In addition to being a new mom, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, it's insane.
I I definitely right now I don't have that burnt out feeling like how I did when I was working my 9 to 5 and doing training. Um, you're saying how do I decompress? I weekends I have a set. Before, when I had my 9 to 5, I had a set day. Sunday was my day. I'm not training anybody. I'm not answering any emails. My phone is pretty much on do not disturb. Like my clients knew that, and that was really just my me time and to be with my kid. Um, that was kind of, I only had one day, right? People typically have 2 days out of their work week. But I only gave myself a day. And even then I still kind of felt tugged to, okay, once my daughter goes to sleep, I gotta do something for my business. I
Mhm.
gotta answer some type of emails. So it really never stopped. And it really I don't know how I was able to manage that, but the long early mornings and long nights, it was very hard. But I will say that I always scheduled that hour workout. Always.
Mhm.
I always scheduled that hour workout, and I had an accountability partner, my best friend, who is into fitness just as much as I am. And she would be like, uh, we need to work out. Where are you? We need to work out. So I had my best friend tugging on me, like, we need to work out. I need you to work out because you are holding me accountable. We're accountability partners. So I had a lot of, not a lot, but I had a few people. I had like 3 people that were in my corner also pushing me. Like, you're pouring out of an empty cup. This is a wellness check. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Are you okay? And then I would vent, blah 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 blah, blah, or we need to work out. And I would always schedule that hour every day for myself. Every day, even if it was just 9, even if it was at 9 to 10 o'clock at night. That hour was that my me time.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've kind of learned to what's it called? I'm trying to set harder like me versus work times, but it's difficult. And it's like my fiance reminds me of it all the time. Like it'll be like a weekend and I'm looking at somebody's form or somebody's like video of their workout so I can give form feedback and she's like, we're supposed to be watching a movie right now. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
sometimes you
okay,
got to
but
put that phone on do not disturb.
yeah, exactly. And it's definitely been difficult with all that. But for sure, the workout is definitely me time. Like I got to get my training session in, otherwise like I go crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I realized like there was a time in the beginning of COVID, right? You're thinking that it's only going to be 2 weeks. COVID's only going to be 2 weeks. They're going to get this under control. So I'm
Yeah.
relaxed. I'm like, all right, it'll be 2 weeks. And then you're realizing, okay, gyms are shutting down, and the only thing that's really open is a gas station and a grocery store. Like, this is real. What
Yeah.
am I supposed to do without the freaking gym? And then you go on Amazon and all the dumbbells are sold out.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? So I got kind of in a funk. I could feel myself getting into a funk. Like, okay, my clients are not training with me right now. I'm losing. I don't have that fulfilling part of my everyday is training clients. And I'm home because I don't know what to do. You're scared to death. So I started this. I was literally just telling one of my clients this morning. One of my clients that didn't know me before COVID. I had started this thing called Rona Miles. This is when COVID was really named Corona, right? And I did this thing called Rona Miles where really the only thing that we could do was walk or jog. So I gathered together all of my clients via text message. I'm like, listen, we can't see each other, but let's hold each other accountable because I need you guys to hold me accountable as well. Follow me on this Apple Watch and let's track. So let's start with 1 mile for the first week, then 2 miles for the second week, and then get up get up to 3 to 4 miles and hashtag it every time you do them. Put them on social media so that we can all see them. Thank you. And so it was Rona Miles. So that was also helpful. Thank you. That was also being a mom never ends. It never stops. So I did this thing called Rona Miles, and it helped me be accountable and also helped my clients be accountable. I would clock in 3 to 4 miles a day, just walking. But that was also a form of me having some me time and also holding my clients accountable, also trying to still interact with my clients in the midst of a pandemic when everything is closed. I didn't have access to any gym. I mean, I had some dumbbells and things like that, but you're scared to be around people. I
Yeah.
don't want to be around anybody. There's no vaccination. You don't know what's going on. You're going crazy. So during COVID, I'm like, okay, if I can hold myself accountable during COVID, then if I could schedule having an hour of a walk, then once we're out of this thing, I need to continuously make that effort to schedule that hour for me to have some me time. Even if it's 30 minutes here and 30 minutes there, as long as it's an hour a day.
Yeah.
To do something I enjoy, and fitness is what I enjoy. And at that time, my daughter was still in a stroller, so that was kind of like our bonding time. And now my daughter is so into fitness because she's been in the gym since she was 3 months old. So she's like, Mommy, we didn't work out. We haven't worked out. Mommy, we haven't taken our walk. Even if she's just doing like her little scooter and I'm walking, like that's still a form of my me time. I'm still being active. My me time requires some sort of activity, not just me time sitting at a restaurant eating.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So really quick, again, I'm trying to be cognizant of your time. It's almost 3:30. Are you still good to go? I got a couple more questions.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
All right, cool.
If my daughter talks, I'm sorry. If she talks, she talks.
No, you're good. You're good. So my next one that I wanted to talk to you about is what difficulties or adversities have you faced in creating and running your business? And what does it mean to be as successful as you have been, right? So I kind of touched on some of the stuff that I was dealing with in school, kind of struggling like with my identity. So my fiance is Jamaican. She's a Black woman, and it's been very enlightening to me to kind of see all the different struggles that she has to go through that I never would have even thought about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the things that you've kind of had to deal with that you've, or like the hurdles that you've gone over in creating your business?
I'm a woman in fitness. Yes, it seems so crazy because all you see is a lot of fit models and fit chicks and stuff like that. But I'm a woman in fitness, and I'm not the typical skinny, rock hard abs woman in fitness. You know, I have a real body, which I definitely thank you, which I definitely I embrace the real body that I have. Which I felt at a lot of times that wasn't the goal, right? Because you're in the beginning, I'm thinking I need like 1,500 followers, like 15,000 followers. you're thinking, okay, it's all about the followers, all about the followers, all about the followers. The money will come once you get the followers, right? But I'm realizing like real bodies matter. A lot of people want to train with me because a real body matters. They don't have that time to be in the gym for 2 and 3, 4 or 5 hours and do all of this other crazy stuff. So that was just kind of like a personal crutch, or like a personal, I was boxing myself in, like, you're never gonna be like these trainers that have like all of these followers, and you're never gonna be sponsored by like Women's Best, and you're never gonna do that. Was kind of me boxing myself in. But again, I don't like to, I will touch on this, like being, you know, of a different race, right? You kind of are somewhat trained to kind of box yourself in, right? Like you kind of train yourself, or you're subconsciously thinking that you have a glass ceiling, right? I will knock this glass ceiling down. Like that's how I was coming with it. Like, I will knock this glass ceiling down. Once I got the confidence within myself, glass ceiling, what are you talking about? What glass ceiling, Sherelle? Like, knock this thing down. But that was really a hurdle for me, and also being young at the time when I was a regional, a fitness manager for New York Sports Club. You're talking about, I was like 22. I was like 22, 23 at the time.
That's
And
crazy.
I'm coaching people and I'm leading people that are like 45 years old. My oldest trainer was like 45. And I will never forget, he's like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. I've been in this game for 20 years, longer than you, that like almost half your life. Like, and that kind of like, damn, like, he's right. Like, he's never gonna take me seriously. And then I started throwing back at him, like, I'm very well educated in fitness, and I will show you, right? I'm very well educated in fitness. I'm not just somebody that just got this certification and I never opened up a book before, and I never expand on my training. I do. I have a lot of certifications that I paid a lot of freaking money for, and the results are in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. My clients have reached their goals. I don't have clients that have injuries. You know what I'm saying? So like, being young and coaching people was like the biggest hurdle for me. I didn't know how to. I cried a lot of days. My team made me cry a lot of days. Like, if anybody is watching, they made me cry a lot of days, because I didn't have enough confidence within myself until my trainer started seeing how hard I go for them and how hard I go for their clients, and I'm fixing forms, and I'm helping them build programs, and their clients are seeing results. That's where I kind of really got the respect for, like, you have to demand respect, especially in the industry as a woman. You
Yeah.
have to demand the respect. I'm not just a woman that you see doing jump squats all the time. Yeah, I post a lot of jump squats because that's what people like to see.
Yeah.
But I also have done this. I've done this. I've done this. I've helped rehab people that have strokes. I helped a woman deliver her baby more efficient and effectively because she's exercised. Like, I've helped women who have just had their baby feel more confident and comfortable about themselves. Like, the proof is in the pudding. So that's probably been the biggest hurdle, is being at that time, was being young, and people doubting my experience. Like, and then even after I had my daughter, not having that ideal body anymore.
Yeah.
That was the biggest hurdle for me. And then I'm thinking, I used to tell my mom, people are not going to believe in me because I don't have 6-pack abs anymore. People are not going to believe that I can get them to their goals because my body doesn't look like this Instagram model. And I'm like, Sherelle, what are you talking about? What are you saying to yourself? My mom was like, what are you talking about? And a lot of people that I would talk to would be like, what are you talking about? Like, do you see yourself? Like, do you see the clients that you have? They still want to train with you after. They still got to their goals. Like, this is real, bodies matter. And that's what Body Achieve really is. The body achieves what the mind believes. Like, it's not about just the rock hard abs and, the plump glutes and, a sexy back. It's about like real bodies. If you can only commit to an hour a day, or if you can only commit to an hour twice a week or 3 times a week, like, that still counts for something.
Yeah. And honestly, like, that's something that I really like about this field. Something that I hated about teaching is that it was so political, right? It's all about who you know. And it's like, yeah,
Right.
okay, for this field, that can happen too. So again, like for example, like I was lucky because my fiance's uncle owned his own studio. That's why I learned how to run a business. That's how I learned how to build a schedule, how to get clientele, how to do all that stuff. Um, but it's like I'm the one who put in the work. I'm the one who spent all those hours reading the textbooks, learning the materials, and then on top of that, experience trumps education any day of the week.
Any day.
Yeah, you've been through everything. I've been through everything. So all of that time that I spent putting in the work, like you can't take that away from me just because of how I look, you know? So
Right, exactly.
yeah,
And like there's people that have that there's you may have abs, right? But then training some you it's very easy to train yourself. A lot of people can train themselves. It's very hard to train other people. When you're teaching somebody, okay, do this, do an arm press, and somebody's like, what? How do I what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? So I had to realize like my again, your education is it doesn't trump your experience. It doesn't trump, you can have all the education in the world, spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on your certifications, but if you haven't trained one client, if you haven't gotten the client to their goals, what
yeah,
does that matter? How does that matter? You know?
exactly. Um, my next question is, what advice would you give to fellow entrepreneurs trying to get to where you are, and what lessons have you learned the hard way?
It is not easy. It is not easy. I always tell people, do you want to work a 9 to 5 and make $100,000, or do you want to make $50,000 to $60,000 but have a flexible schedule? Like, what do you want?
Yeah,
Because having your own business, you don't reap a lot of the benefits that you see on social media. You don't really reap that until year 3, 4, 5. Sometimes not until year 10. It's a lot of work. So the grind doesn't stop. As an entrepreneur, you are constantly working all the time. There's a lot of times where you can't go out. There's a lot of times where you can't spend additional money because you're trying to build this business.
yeah,
You're spending additional money, but you need this. Something could happen at any point in time. Like right now, for the past couple of days, I haven't been in my studio because something happened in the studio. It's getting repaired. So I've had to accommodate, right? But had I not had that like cushion, right? I'm not. But people think as an entrepreneur, we're going out, we're fine dining, we're drinking, we're this and that on Tuesdays, right? On a Tuesday night, because I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have to work. I don't, I have to get up I can get up whenever I want to. No, it is very hard. Like I never stop working.
yeah,
I answer emails as we're talking right now. I'm getting text messages and stuff like that. So it is a pedal to the metal type of lifestyle. But I would prefer this over a 9 to 5 any day.
yeah,
That's just
definitely.
me. I would prefer being an entrepreneur over a 9 to 5 any day, because I have the flexibility to be around my daughter. My daughter, even though we're doing this right now, my daughter, we're going outside. We're going outside after this. We're going to the park after this, right? Then she's coming with me to the gym and we're going to train some clients. We're going to, go to work. But with me having a 9 to 5, I didn't have a lot of time with my daughter. I didn't have a lot of time to spend with her. I missed some days. Sometimes she'd be like, "Mommy, can we do this?" And I'm like, "Shh, I stop. I'm working. I have a meeting." You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like now she had like I'm about to volunteer her field day. Like that is something that is important to me. That fulfills me. That is something that money can't buy, right? Or like a paycheck can't cut that part of my life. Um,
right.
so entrepreneurship is hard. Entrepreneurship is a 24/7 or 25, 28, whatever you want to call it. It's all the time, but it is the most rewarding feeling for me. But we do need people that work 9 to 5, because I need those people too.
Yeah,
But it took me 8 years to build this. A lot of highs and lows, a lot of L's I took. Just partnering with other people, them not necessarily seeing my vision, my business flopping, me not really being consistent, me not having somebody that holds me accountable. Like, Sherelle, you have to do this. Like, there, even when you're the most tired that you ever felt, you still have people that are relying on you. I'm in a service business. I have people that I have to serve. So, my clients. And I there's been times where I haven't necessarily been accountable over the years. I haven't been consistent over the years. I haven't, and that was only on me. That was on me. That was really on me. Um, but when I started Body Achieved all over again, I had certain people. I was like, I need this to work. I need Body Achieved to work. For me, but for my daughter. And I have this shirt that says generational wealth starts with me. For my family, for the people that are watching that I don't even know that are watching, right? Like I need this to work. So I need you guys to be in my corner and hold me accountable by any means necessary. And my shout outs to my mom, shout outs to like two of my best friends. My sisters, they always hold me accountable. They help me with my mental health. They do my mental health check-ins, but they also say, hey, I haven't seen you post in a while. What's up? I haven't seen you, post a workout in a while. What's going on? Thank you. See anybody? See? Yeah. It's hot. So, yeah, I made sure to have accountability partners this time around when it comes to Body Achieved, and it's been consistent for the past 4 years. Out of the 8 years that I've been in business, I've had some hiccups with partnerships. Again, like I said, people not necessarily seeing my vision. And I don't want to be. I know exactly what I want. When I came back into owning my business, I said, this is exactly how I want my business to go. If people can't get with it, then they're not necessarily the partner for you. So I do a lot of things by myself. I grow my business by myself. But also, a lot of my clients are entrepreneurs too. So we've just been able to really interact and mesh with each other. And I know this person, I know this person, I know this person, I know this person. And I have a community of young female entrepreneurs, young female mothers that are entrepreneurs that I've aligned myself with that also hold me accountable as well. So I always say, as an entrepreneur, you have to align yourself with like-minded people. You have to align yourself with people that want to see you win, that also can suggest or people that are a little higher than you. You want to align yourself with people that are higher than you. Like one of my clients, she owns a huge salon. So I've been able to pick her brain. She's been able to pick my brain. I want to align myself with people that have more experience than me in the business industry or even in the fitness industry so that I can learn from them as well.
Yeah, for sure. That's super crucial. And that's something that I'm really kind of seeing, or that I've really seen like the last couple of years, especially when the pandemic hit, because everybody kind of split off and kind of did their own thing. So when it came to
Yes.
me wanting to become my own business owner, wanting to go hard after that, I kind of had, just like you're saying, like if people don't have the same vision, I kind of have to take a step back. And it's like, yeah, we're still cool, but I have to do me right now. And then having that accountability, like at one point, I think I had like 3 coaches, something
Mm-hmm.
like that, because it's like, okay, well, if I want to be the most marketable version of myself, I had a nutrition coach that helped me learn about nutrition. I had a powerlifting coach help me learn about powerlifting, a bodybuilding coach, blah, blah, blah. And then even honestly having the support like at home, like I'm really good at lifting weights. I'm good at making music, that kind of thing, but I'm not super handy. So like my fiance was the one who helped put together the deadlift platform. My
Wow.
dad was the one who helped put together the squat rack. You know what I mean? So having all that support is definitely huge. And also like you're saying, like this is not a small decision. Like I remember like going through my business expenses, I was like, I spent how much on equipment? That's absolutely insane. It's crazy.
Yep.
And there's something else you said. Well, I'm not blanking right now. I remember, but we'll come back to it. So my last question for you is, what are your personal business and fitness goals for 2022?
My business goals for 2022, I really want to do more ebooks, sell more products, Body Achieved products. Like I have booty bands, resistance bands that I sell, um, which I have a new collection coming out in the middle of June called Plump Me Up. Just a different color. Still does the same thing that my booty bands from last season do, but just a different color. But this time I want to provide more ebooks, more. I want to branch out and reach more people. You know, personal training is where my heart is at, but I want to touch more lives, right? I want to touch somebody in California that's following me, or touch somebody in touch somebody in New York that's following me and doesn't have access to be able to come to New Jersey to train at Body Achieved. So my goal is to really expand my business from an in-person standpoint to an online platform with more ebooks, more like those discs with the logo on it, for exercises and stuff like that. That's my personal goal. So even with the Plump Me Up collection that's coming out, with when you place your order, you'll be able to get a QR code. You'll scan a QR code, and it'll be an ebook that'll pop up for different exercises that you can do with the resistance bands. So you can do these exercises at home, and you can also do these exercises at the gym as well, or even outside, whatever. But yeah, I want to do more ebooks. I want to expand my business from just not being just from this Somerset, New Brunswick, Middlesex, Piscataway, South Plainfield trainer to something larger. I want to be able to impact more lives through fitness and exercise. And then from a personal standpoint, I guess I would say from a personal standpoint is just not be so hard on myself. I'm very hard on myself in reference to just the type of business owner that I want to be, the type of an individual I want to be. I just want to enjoy where I'm at. I still struggle with that, just enjoying the now, right? And a lot of my clients, they teach that to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, but I want to, it's very easy to tell somebody something, but hard to apply it to you. And
Yeah.
you're like, you just told me to do this, and now you're questioning yourself. So I want to just be able to enjoy the now, not from a fitness or a body composition standpoint, but I just want to be able to enjoy the now. I have a studio. I have my own space. Body Achieved is 8 years in the making, and I have my own training facility. That is something so accomplished. Like that's something to be accomplished. That's something to be able to have, to be able to poke your chest out. I did it
Yeah.
by myself, no loan, all cash, right? Like, and I bust my behind every single day. But like, sometimes I just enjoy sitting in my space. Just enjoy sitting there and looking at everything that I built from the ground up. So that's what I'm really working on, is just being able to enjoy, like not thinking about the next thing. Like, okay, now Body Achieve needs to be bigger. Like I'm thinking Body Achieve needs to be bigger, and I've only been open. The studio has only been open for almost 5 months, right? But everybody's like, just enjoy where you're at, Sherelle, and enjoy right now. I'm like, yeah, but it needs to be bigger. I need to impact more lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to just enjoy where I'm at, enjoy the journey, enjoy where I'm at. So that's like my personal goal, is just breathe, stretch, shake, let it go, you know?
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Especially, it's funny because whenever a client catches me like saying one thing but doing another, I always tell them do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when it
Like,
comes to
who's the
like an
coach
actual
here?
thing.
Am I the coach? All
Yeah,
right. But I know
exactly.
sometimes your clients become your therapist too. It's a therapy. They become so close to you that now they're listening to you sometimes. Sometimes you're venting in their session while they're doing reps. There's times where like they're doing reps and I'm not counting anymore, and now I'm talking and they're like, "Have you been counting?" I'm like, "No, I haven't been counting. That's your
Hmm.
job right now. I'm
Yeah,
talking."
exactly. I remember what I was gonna say before, and then I'll let you go because I know you got stuff to do. Yeah, the thing that I like the most, like even though we're constantly working all the time, is being in charge of my own schedule. A lot of the times my clients will come in and they're just venting about their job or this and that. And honestly, there's two things that happened to me that really made me appreciate being my own boss. My fiance's dad passed, I think at this point it was like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to stop my entire day, tell all my clients, hey, something came up, I got to take care of business, I'll see you guys, like I'll let you know when it's done. other thing that happened is my fiance got sick in the beginning of the year to the point where she like had to go to the hospital. And then I remember telling her, I'm like, hey, like, take your time getting back to work. You know what I mean? Like, you're not
Hmm.
100% yet. Like, you need to make sure that you're good because she, whatever, has to drive all day, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I can't. I'm like, what do you mean you can't? She's like, I had no more PTO. I'm like, who cares? Like, you got to watch out for yourself. And she's like, no, like, I need to do this because I need to be able to pay these bills and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, this sucks. Like, I would hate to have to go back to work early if I'm not feeling it, blah, blah, blah. So I definitely, like, I'm right there with you. Like, having control of my schedule, being able to spend time with the people that I want to is huge for me, for sure.
Yeah, you know, like some as an entrepreneur, you have the ability to be very accessible to your family and your friends that need you the most. Even though sometimes you're so busy working as an entrepreneur trying to build your business, you do have that flexibility where you can say, you know what, not today. Like my family, my village needs me. So I do find myself as well being very uh, just a phone call away now that I don't have my 9 to 5. A lot of, my nephews will call me, or some of my friends will call me, or, you know, I can go and visit my sister that's had a bad day at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
that is fulfilling to me. I want to be there for people. Again, like we're in a service business, so we're here to serve, which naturally just comes off with us serving everybody, even on our off days.
Yeah, definitely. Well, listen, I really appreciate you doing this. This means a lot. Again, like I was really excited about this because I have so much respect for you. Just seeing all the stuff, because honestly, it was like a couple people hit me. They're, oh, you gotta check her out, blah blah blah. She just opened her studio, this and that. I'm like, all right, word. Like, let me give it a peek. And then when I see like your work ethic, everything that you're doing, handling your business, on top of that, like I said, all our similarities. Like, this was really cool. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your insight, your time, so on and so forth. Um,
Yes, thank you.
and let me know if there's any other ways I can support you. I typically host a couple events a year, so I'll let you know when it happens. Maybe we could like do something together sometime.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely appreciate this. I haven't did an IG live in a very long time because I've been so pouring into my business that I
Yeah,
haven't really had time to kind of do anything to speak on fitness, to promote my business, from a in person or personal type of standpoint. So I definitely appreciate you for reaching out to me. I love what you're doing, from a fitness standpoint. I love the fact that you have other trainers on here that you're talking about, all different types of. Everyone has a different training style, right? Everyone has different experiences, and I love that when I look at your page. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you, and I hope that we were able to kind of give some insight to anybody that was watching, um, just fitness, entrepreneurship, real life stuff. So thank you so much.
definitely. All right, well, I'll let you get some time with your daughter, and I will talk to you again sometime soon.